What's going on, everybody? GemMint here, back again with another Omnibus haul and collected edition haul. We got trade paperbacks, compendiums, deluxe editions, and more. A couple of quick shout outs here. We got to give a big shout out to Marvel Comics. They sent through all these trades. They sent through the 2 Marvel Omnibus. Image Skybound, we appreciate it for sending that Outcast compendium, as well as Organic Price Books, who came through with the Justice League Dark and the Blade of the Immortal. Show some love to JP over at Organic Price Books and use the code GEMMINT every time you shop there to save $2. Great packaging, the best customer service, and super fast shipping. Big shout out to Organic Price Books. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, be subscribed to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video. I'm giving away this sealed all-new Wolverine Omnibus once we hit 135,000 subscribers. Stick around to the end of the video. I'll give you more details on how you could enter. And I guess we should start by looking at the trade paperbacks here. So let's start with Immortal Hulk. This is the last trade paperback from the Al Ewing run. It collects issues 46 through 50. Joined by Joe Bennett, Rue Jose, Bellardino Barbado, and Paul Mounts. You got the Alex Ross cover here of Hell and Death. So it does include the oversized, jam-packed issue 50. Let's go ahead and flip through it. All right, here we go. Like I said, beautiful cover here by Alex Ross. You have Immortal Hulk, Harpy on there. You have some of the Gamma Force, or whatever they call themselves. So here we go. You have Red Hulk and Hulk making that last final walk. You know, I kind of dug it. I mean, I saw some criticisms that they didn't really like how it ended. It was pretty big, pretty grandiose, which is actually what I like in comics. Not to spoil it for you guys, but you have the Demon Hulk. Pretty interesting with like the Banner, Psyche, and Joe Fixit, and all these other characters kind of living around in his head and taking on the form of Hulk, going back to their ancestors and such. The leader playing a role here at the end. But yeah, it's very trippy, psychedelic, a completely unique take on Hulk, different than anything that we've ever seen. So it was a nice kind of refreshing thing. You got this guy, his eyes gouged out and stuff. People seeing their ancestors in this kind of mindscape, if you will. So yeah, there we go. They have oversized hardcovers in this, and I'm not sure if an omnibus was announced. If not, I'm sure one's coming. Got a couple of X books here. We have the Reign of X. This is volume 6, as well as X Corp. So Reign of X just collects the Reign of X titles in like almost like how they were released weekly, right? So instead of Sword, X-Men, Marauders, and X-Force in separate trades, it's kind of broke down. What's the word I'm looking for? In continuity, I guess. So this has Sword 4, X-Men 18 through 19, Marauders 18 through 19, as well as X-Force issue 17. X-Corp is by Teenie Howard. She's joined by Alberto Foche, Valentine D. Landro, and Sonny Go. This is 5 issues. I read issue 1. It really wasn't for me. I don't know. It kind of felt a little bit on the X Factor vibe, a little bit of the side of the X books that I wasn't really into, but hey, if it's something that you're into, it's out as well. $18 cover price. All right, then we have, like I said, Reign of X Volume 6, X Corp Volume 1. So here's the back of the trade. Let's take a look at some of the artwork here. Maybe I'll remember where they were at during this part. Okay, so that's a pretty good indication. King in Black tie-in right there. Here goes Sword. I stopped reading Sword after the first issue, and everyone says it got really, really good. So I kind of like missed out on that a little bit. Get some X-23 action here. I know X-Men 20 was like one of my favorite issues of the X-Men, so this was the stuff that was happening right before it. Yeah, I feel like this was like similar to Phantom X and the kind of the world that he goes in, where you can go in somewhere and time goes by super fast, but on the outside it doesn't really move. Then Marauders. Pyro Iceman, Cape Pride stuff. So yeah, I already said what's collected in those issues. And then X Corp here, like I said, collects the first 5 issues, another $18 trade paperback. X Corp is like the financial division of Krakoa, right? They deal in the Krakoan plants that heal and herbs and stuff like that, led by Emma Frost. So you have the Angel here. I only read that first issue. It wasn't really for me. Like you can see right here, it's kind of a lot of dialogue, kind of not really that much going on. But I haven't read the other issues of this trade, so I'm not sure if it like really picked up or not. Looks like Angel goes Archangel again. That's pretty cool. Closing costs. I guess you have some variant covers and such. It wasn't really for me. It's funny, we have the end of Immortal Hulk and the end of Nick Spencer's Spider-Man. So this is What Cost Victory, technically volume 15 of the trade paperbacks, and collects issues 70 through 74. Of course, Nick Spencer is joined by a slew of creators on here, including veterans like Mark Bagley. And like I said, this ends his run. Issue 75 as a new creative team, a new arc, finishing up the Kindred saga, finishing up the whole Norman Osborn and his children and all the stuff that JMS introduced back in the day, J. Michael Straczynski. So there you go, rounding out and finishing it up with volume 15 of the trade. Another book ending. Like I said, the end of Nick Spencer's Spider-Man run. Here's the back. We have Kindred here. That was kind of teased throughout this whole book. $20 trade paperback, 4 issues, but I believe 74 was oversized as well, just like Hulk, Immortal Hulk 50. I actually did like the ending of this, man. I jumped back into Nick Spencer's Spider-Man, I think around the Sin Eater arc, and I kind of kept up with it, Sinister War, things like that, which was basically just 4 issues of a big melee. And then into this one was a lot of Norman Osborn, Harry Osborn, Spider-Man, Kindred stuff, a reveal, a conclusion, whether or not you thought it stuck the landing. You know, they kind of retconned something here, which was kind of cool to me. It's like a presidential pardon of sorts. I flipped right back to the same page. Yeah, so there you go. I wonder if they'll do an omnibus for this. A couple of quick books here. So we have Guardians of the Galaxy. These are issues 13 through 18, which is volume 3, trade paperback by Al Ewing. We're Superheroes is the name of the trade. You know, I was reading the first arc. It's not something I continue to read. I don't know. I just can't really recall that there was a big enough hook for me. So I don't know. If you've been keeping up with it, volume 3 is out. Pretty nice cover on the Guardians of the Galaxy cover here. You got Nova leading this team here. I think that's Hulkling, Gamora, Star-Lord, and don't remember who that guy is. Let's see here. New Age of Space starts here. Another $18 trade. This one's also by Al Ewing. I heard that this series recently just ended. So you got the nice cosmic art style going on here. Dr. Doom showing up. I haven't really heard too much about this series, to be honest. Like I said, I read the first few issues, maybe the first 4 or 5, and just didn't really hook me. And a lot of comics come out every week, so it's hard to keep up with everything, you know? That's pretty cool, like a Dormammu Celestial or something. Got some variant covers in the back there. Oh yeah, this is the end. The end. Thanks for everything. See you at Gosnell's. So this is probably the end of Ewing's Guardians of the Galaxy. This one's funny, man. Infinite Destiny. So this is a trade paperback that collects multiple annual issues that all join together to make this storyline, similar to like stuff like Atlantis Attacks and how they used to do big events back in the day, tell them through annuals. So I read the Thor one on accident, and then I was chatting with Benny, the comic story, and he's reviewing this, and he's like, I'm the only one reading this Infinite Destinies, and I just happened to read the Thor one. I don't know, now that I have the trade, maybe if I get some time, I can flip through it and see what's going on. It has to do with the Infinity Stone, so hey, there it is. All right, let's flip through this Infinite Destiny. So it took place in all the annuals for these books that you see here. It's a pretty thick trade paperback. Let's see here. So $25 cover price. Here's all the issues that it collects. Yeah, and you can see it's got the stones. The Infinity Stones is what this is kind of focused around. So I only read the Thor one. The Thor one was okay. It was kind of mostly self-contained. I didn't feel like it had much to do with the Infinity Stones whatsoever. And I picked it up because I love Donny Cates' Thor run, and I didn't realize that this annual I was reading wasn't by Donny Cates and was just part of this event. Like, that's the only way I heard of this. I feel like there was like literally no marketing or any promotion for this book. But yeah, I mean, if you guys are interested in, if you want an Infinity Stones story, this might be the one for you. And actually, you know what? I think Image Skybound sent this one as well. This is Ultra Mega, and this is by James Herron and Dave Stewart. So this is like, they're oversized comics, like thicker, like trade paperback format initially. The first 4 issues are covered here. I don't know if this ends here or not, but it's basically a kaiju story. It had great artwork to it. We'll flip through and take a look at this one. If you guys are interested, consider picking up the trade. It costs $20. And then Ultra Mega, like I mentioned, the individual issues were pretty thick. So for 4 issues, you get a pretty thick trade paperback here. So here we have the back. It has a cover price. I already gave you the cover price. The 4 issues here. I remember this being a kaiju story with a pretty like gnarly twist in the beginning. I didn't keep up with it though. Like again, these are all books that I read every Wednesday, and I drop the new comic book day reviews, and it's just so many titles. I gotta just drop stuff that I don't love. You know what I'm saying? So this was one of them that it was intriguing. It was pretty interesting, but I just didn't keep up with it. But Image Skybound was pushing this pretty hard. They also send single issues with a ton of variants and stuff. So I don't know if you're into kaiju stuff, an indie Image type of version of it. The artwork is pretty kinetic. You can see all these big explosions and sound effects going on here. I'm trying to even remember the premise. I only read the first issue. I don't really recall. But it had a twist to it. I guess it's like Ultraman versus kaijus in a sense. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool artwork. I'm definitely a big fan of Dave Stewart. Alright guys, now on to the big boy book. So this is the Outcast compendium. It collects issues 1 through 48. This is by Robert Kirkman and Azaceta. I was in love with this series when it came out. I think it was the first series after he did Walking Dead. I want to say it was. It had a lot of speculation around it. I had 9.8 slabs of issue number 1. And I really liked it. I mean, it was kind of like Walking Dead, but instead of zombies being like the situational aspect to it, it was demonic possession. They ended up coming out with a show. I never saw the show, but let's flip through the book really quick. I read a lot of these. All right, compendium time here. So Outcast, it's a thick book. I like the construction of it, though. It feels pretty solid. Here's the back. This was the cover for issue 1. I don't know if I mentioned the cover price on this. This one was $65. I'm pretty sure that's the full run, 1 through 48, right? Because this is complete compendium, not a volume 1 or anything. So let's take a look. It's been a while since I flipped through Outcast. This is the art style that you're going to get throughout. And like I said, it's about demonic possession. So I always kind of said, like, a lot of Image books are very situational, environmental, if you will. It's like the characters are secondary to the situation that they're involved in. This guy was kind of like creepy, lurking around. Felt like he had something to do with it. I was reading this in single issues as it came out, man. Back way before I started the channel when this came out. You can see it's got a nice dark kind of style to it. I wouldn't call it gritty. It's got a clean art style. Almost reminds me of the stuff that you see in like Brubaker's Cap, right? So if you guys are interested in this whatsoever, maybe you saw the show, or maybe you just collect compendiums, but it's a $65 way to get the whole entire run. And you know, check organic price books. It might even be cheaper than that. All right, now from Dark Horse, we have Blade of the Immortal, Volume 4. This is the only manga in this format they're publishing that reads from left to right. I read Volume 1. Man, have no time in the day. I would love to get caught up on this, get caught up on Hellsing. Volume 4 is out already, and let me see, what volumes does this collect? Does it even say, or does it just give you a bunch of chapters? Yeah, it looks like a bunch of chapters. Great artwork. I like the story, man, from reading Volume 1. Let's flip through Volume 4 and take a look at it. All right, man, these things keep coming out, and I keep getting further and further behind. The 4th deluxe edition here, Blade of the Immortal. You got the spine here. You know, it's a $50 book that goes well with Berserk. It goes well with Hellsing. This one was already adapted left to right format, so that's how they printed it here. And great artwork here. I'm lost on the story because I haven't read since Volume 1, so I can't even tell you where we're at with this. But the mercenary, there's a supernatural element to it. He had almost like I guess they called it worms in the blood, which is almost like nanites, but I guess more supernatural and less technical. But it was a skilled warrior that was assigned to protect this person. Like I said, more like a mercenary. But I have to get caught up, man. I definitely am digging what Dark Horse is doing, introducing manga to a lot of us comic readers this way, you know? Obviously, as you can see, it's black and white, but great detailing and hashing and just overall exciting and energetic artwork here. All right, guys, now onto the omnibus. We have Jessica Jones, Alias. So I was kind of intrigued by this one when it was announced. Like, is this going to be a reprint of the Alias Marvel Max omnibus? Or is it going to be different because it has a different title? It's the same book. It's a great series, though. This is one of the first Omnis that I read. Collects Alias 1 through 28, and What If Jessica Jones has joined the Avengers. I'll do a quick comparison to the original one, but really the only difference is it doesn't say Max Omnibus on the spine, and it says Jessica Jones on top of Alias on the new book for branding purposes. Makes sense. Alias was kind of so obscure, and the show was Jessica Jones. I like the show a lot, too. $100 book. Let's do a quick comparison and flip through it. All right, guys, so as promised, old versus new. Basically, like I said, the only thing that's different is it now says Jessica Jones, and it doesn't say Max Omnibus on the new printing. Otherwise, it's the same material. Flipping through the page, it's the same page for page. So don't think that it's a new Jessica Jones book, because it's not. But Brian Michael Bendis, Michael Gaydos, like I said, this was one of the first Omnis that I sat down and read back to front. I had never heard of this series before, and I really enjoyed it. $100 cover price. I already mentioned what it collects here. Let's take a look at the inside of the dust jacket. So we have just a little synopsis on Jessica Jones, biography on the creators here. I can't remember if I saw the show first or if I read this first. I might have seen the show first, and I really dug Purple Man, and I felt like the show was a great representation of the book. It didn't feel like it steered too far away from it. The Luke Cage stuff, just Jessica Jones' whole kind of attitude and persona. But flipping through to give you a style of the art, it's very much like a detective type of book mixed with a little splash of superhero stuff. I really enjoyed it a lot, man. Purple Man, I mean, at the time, I remember when Jessica Jones' show came out, people would say it's one of the best Marvel villains, like right up there with Loki. So, yeah, there you go. Jessica Jones, Alias basically getting a reprint. All right, guys, then on to Kull the Conqueror. Cranking out the Conan type of material. It collects Kull the Conqueror 1 through 2 from 1982. Then from 1984, Kull the Conqueror 1 through 10. Kull the Veil of Shadow, and Marvel Team Up issues 111 and 112. So we had Kull the Destroyer, Kull the Savage, and now the Conqueror. So actually, I'll do a quick look at the DM cover as well, and we'll just take a look at some of this art style here. And all right, for Kull the Conqueror, so we have both covers here. I'm assuming this one's the DM version. It looks like it's the cover for number 1, and then the regular version here. Yeah, here you go. Kull number 1 right there on the back. So, you know, there's some Conan fans out there, some Kull fans. I know not too many of you guys are into this stuff. I mentioned what it collects. It's a $125 book. Has the covers on the back of the dust jacket here. And let's see what we got on the inside. So we got a biography on Kull the Conqueror, talking about all the creators involved here. Let's see. John Buscema on the artwork, tying into with some Marvel stuff. So you get some familiar stuff in the beginning here. As far as Kull and Conan, I mean, the art style looks good. Like, I'm not, I don't dislike the art. It's just the characters I never really grew up with. I think I was a little bit late on Conan. And Kull I've never heard about until Marvel started printing these books. So not something that I'm familiar with, but to flip through, give you an idea of the art style. It seems like Kull had a lot of different volumes. Like I said, the Destroyer, the Savage, and then this one, the Conqueror. It sounds like a nice little trilogy of the evolution of the character. If you ask me, it almost reminds me of Gladiator, like the movie or something, from slave to king. Let me know if I'm way off base on that. But just flipping through, showing you the art, showing you the bonuses here in the back, original covers and such. That's what you guys get with Kull the Conqueror. All right, guys, lastly, the big boy from DC Comics, the New 52 Justice League Dark. Man, they are cranking out so many New 52 titles. I'm digging it, man. That's kind of like around the time I started getting back into reading comics. I have never read this series. I know John Constantine's a fan favorite. You got Deadman here. Who else is part of this? Is it Zatanna there? That's what it looks like. So this collects issues 0 through 40, and then you have a bunch of other tie-ins it collects. The first 2 annuals, Justice League Dark Futures N number 1, which is part of that whole event, Constantine 5, 9, and 12, or 9 through 12, I should say. I Vampire 7 and 8, we'll take a look at it when we look at the back. But huge $150 omnibus, and that's going to round out today's video. And lastly, the Justice League Dark Omnibus from the New 52, J.M. DeMatteis, Jeff Lemire, Ray Fawkes, Peter Milligan, Mikel Janin, and Andres Guinaldo. So super solid, thick book. Like to see how they're continually printing the New 52 material. I remember at one time we were like, where the hell is Batman New 52? And now we're coming out with a lot of stuff. I mentioned a lot of what it collects already, but it has a lot more tie-ins, man. Justice League 21 through 23. It's kind of hard to read, man. But yeah, it collects a ton of issues here. $150 cover price, which is not surprising on a book of this size here. Let's take a look at the inside here. So the inside of the flaps just talk about the creators because it's so big. That's basically all they had room for, right? So the creators on both sides here. You kind of have a wraparound cover. You got this nice art on the back with that purple style to it. Spine and the back. I just realized I didn't show Jessica Jones, but really it just says Alias on the front and it's all black. And Kull, just how they all look. All right, so here we go. Jumping into an introduction, table of contents. Yeah, I flipped through this already, and the art looks amazing, man. It seems like it's right up my alley, too. I don't know that I'm a huge Justice League Dark fan, but I like the supernatural stuff. And Jeff Lemire writing on it, gotta be awesome. I really need to check it out. I know I say that in every one of these videos, but honestly, man, reading 20, 30 weekly titles a week has really put me way behind on reading these collected editions. But look at the art. The coloring looks great here. Yeah, so it's hard to like read new comics on Sunday night, Monday night, all day Tuesday, and then, you know, the rest of the week it's like you need a break, you know? I guess let me know what you guys think about what's up with the Justice League Dark, man. Have you guys read it? Is it as good as it looks? Because it looks like it's a pretty strong title, man. Trinity War. I know it tied in with Future's End. I feel like that was more towards the end of the New 52. I remember when all that stuff was coming out in the comic shops. Yeah, but I can't really give you too much on it because I haven't read this stuff. Looks like you do get some bonus material in the back, though. Some sketches and looks like original art. Alright guys, and that's the haul for me today. Let me know if you guys are picking any of these books up in the comments down below. That's what's going to enter you into the 135,000 subscriber giveaway. You got to be subscribed, leave a like, and comment. And once we reach the milestone, we'll do a live video, pick a random video where I promoted this giveaway, and use a random YouTube comment generator to draw a worldwide winner for this all-new Wolverine sealed omnibus, which is getting less and less sealed as I keep showing it off in all these videos. So hurry up, we're almost there. I think about 2,000 subscribers left, and I appreciate you guys watching, man. Don't go anywhere. I have other omnibus hauls for you guys to check out, as well as weekly comic book reviews, statue reviews, and more. But most importantly, stay minty fresh. Peace.